Let's get into the music, dancing around. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy NFL Week 4. We got in front of us. And, welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. Dave, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Nice, relaxing Sunday for me because my team doesn't play till tomorrow, so I can just enjoy the Sunday games with no worry and hang out.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to I've shown the project that I'm building outside, getting that done, getting that TV up on the wall, and hopefully I'll be watching afternoon games on my new wall I'm building outside for the TV area. That I'll build a bar and everything. Excited about that. I was just telling I'll tell the fans, did a little bit of night golf Friday night with some buddies, tailgating buddies, and had a blast. It's kind of hard to see, but I should have rewound it. That's somebody, my buddy Robert at the tee, and so you basically are playing a dark course. They have it lit up with LEDs for the fairway, greens, and bunkers, and he's gonna hit this here in the backswing, and there it goes. But anyway, I had a really good time with that. I've never done anything like that before, so yeah. So hey, we made our picks real quick. We made our picks for our Thursday game. We both had done our picks, but there is a game that we forgot to put online that is actually live right now. And good morning, Kim. Thanks for joining the show as always. And you're taking the Vikings for the early game. So are Dave and I. And we both had the Vikings in this game. So it is in the fourth quarter. And the Vikings are now down. They were up. Now they're down 19-22. Saints have got a 3-point lead with 8.5 minutes left in the game. So, but hey, everyone, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Before we get into the picks and a little bit of analysis of what we saw last week, let's see where our standings are. And finally, for the first week, we do have some separation. And, looks like I had to make that a little bit bigger because I have a 1-point lead right now. And so, it's still a tough week out there. I mean, it's been a tough season for us so far this year. Don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. These games are kind of crazy, and a lot of things are happening at the end of games. Just like today, I had looked at halftime. Seemed like Minnesota was doing fine. We're going to be able to, win this game easily over Andy Dalton-led Saints. No Kamara still for the Saints. So I don't, Cook ended up playing this week after hurting his shoulder. They didn't know if he'd play, but he did. So, yeah, just hopefully for us, the Vikings can do like they did last week against the Lions and have a late comeback and get a touchdown. We cover the spread if they score a touchdown, and hold the Saints. So that can still happen. Plenty of time left. Vikings did it last week, so we'll see what happens this last quarter.
Yeah, because we did take Minnesota. I'm just going to throw this up there because we did take Minnesota at 2.5. So if they score, right now they have the ball with 7.5 minutes. They go down and score a touchdown. They're going to need. I mean, three only ties it. So then I get a touchdown and we'll be just fine on that game. Hey, before we move forward, let me remind us of something I forgot to do already. We wouldn't be football beer. That's why we're here without the beer. This week I found this getting into October. I love this part of the year, October, November, December. I was going to get a porter, but I saw this at the store. Rogue Brewing's Bat Squatch Hazy IPA. Never had it, but I thought the can was pretty cool. Have you had this before?
Yeah, I had it on the show a couple of seasons ago. I had it on once. I really like Bat Squatch. And it's from Oregon because it's made by Rogue. So, yeah, I like the Bat Squatch. The Bat Squatch is pretty good. I think you might like it.
Yeah, so but anyway, yeah, so it's not pouring it, getting a lot of foam there, but so I'll give it a try here in a sec as it settles down. So what do you have on tap this week?
I also went out and got me all Oktoberfest beers to cover our shows through the month of October. on Friday. And so the first one I'm going to have is Smog City Brewing Smogtoberfest. It's a 5.5 October lager. I have featured Smog City before on the show, as they're not too far from me. They're north a bit, up in Torrance, California. Has a nice gold color. Pretty good. This one's pretty good. So I'm going to have to take some notes and rank these Oktoberfest beers as I go through them, so I know which one I like the best once I'm done with them.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, this is it's got a good color. It's a 6.7. And so looking forward to enjoying this one. Bat Squash from Rogue Brewing. So, yeah, so we didn't do well on the Miami Cincinnati game either. We with Tua and now all that hubbub about the concussion. I mean, poor guy, and whether or not he should have probably even been out there this week. So the NFL is going to be looking at that, obviously. And and they already said, I was listening this morning, that changes are going to be made to the protocols. And I think somebody higher up lost their job yesterday. So, I mean, so the NFL is going to be, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you still have doctors that look at players and they evaluate and they clear. The only thing I could think is that there's a mandatory one game, you got to sit out one game. That's probably, for me, the only way you get around the, doctors. Okay, I think he's fine. Yeah, you're fine. It's just say, hey, you got a concussion, you're sitting out a game, and the next game. So it'll be interesting. You got any thoughts on that?
Oh, it's kind of similar to yours. I mean, the guy went out there. Maybe he did have a back issue also, but that doesn't stop the fact that the whole world saw him hit the back of his head and then stumble right afterwards. So I don't know. It was either the most ridiculous bad timing for his back to seize up, or, that couldn't have helped. So for him to, and then he just gets slammed within a 4-day period, because they played Sunday and then they played Thursday. So that's not a lot of time in between potential concussions. 4 days. That's a lot of brain shaking in a 4-day period. It happened to me actually in basketball when I was a sophomore in high school. I got knocked out on a Friday night in a game, and then I got knocked out again on Tuesday during practice. I was foggy for a week. The fact he came back on the Sunday game and played the second half and played pretty well, really, was pretty surprising. So I think kind of how he played, people were probably like, oh yeah, he seems to be fine. He played the whole second half fine. He looked healthy. He didn't have another stumble at any point. You never saw him reach for his back. You didn't see him, there was no signs that he wasn't okay in the second half. And at the start of, the second game he got knocked out, he seemed fine too till he got knocked out. I mean, but, those compounds, it happening so quick. I mean, 4 days difference, that's a lot to take in a 4-day period for your noggin. Yeah. So, I think they're going to have to make you sit at least a game just so something like this doesn't happen again. You get knocked out on Sunday, then you get knocked out on Thursday. I mean, within a week period, can't be risking these players like that,
No, and I agree. And, for them to claim a back injury on the first one, you watch that guy, his hands were at his head. He's got people holding him up. He's leaning. I'm not buying the whole back injury, but it is what it is, and we'll find out what's going on. So we lost that game because we both picked Miami, and so we didn't start off too well there. Just a quick update. It's still the fourth quarter with 4.5 minutes left. Minnesota has the ball. 3rd and 7 at the Saints. It just updated 1st and goal at the 3. So hopefully, let's hand it off to Cook. Boom, done. And we win. Actually, there's still 4.5 minutes, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. So some other games on the schedule today we got to get into. And if you're watching the show, put in your comments who you think is going to win the game. And I wouldn't probably go with our picks this year so far. We were doing really well last year, and I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so the Browns are going to ATL to play my Falcons, not my Falcons, just Marcus Mariota. And Cleveland is favored by 1.5. Cleveland's been surprising me this year with how well they've actually been playing. I thought they would definitely take a step back. But I'm going to take Atlanta here at home. Atlanta played well last week and got a win. They got their first win. I'm going to take Atlanta.
Yeah, actually, I had Atlanta written down too. I just feel like at home, not being favored, they've been playing well enough. They've been in every game, even the games they lost. They've been in every game. I do worry about the Browns being able to run the ball really well against them. I'm also a little bit worried about Patterson may not play for the Falcons today. He's injured, or he might have limited snaps, and he's 60% of their offense. So I'm a little worried. I almost wanted to pick the Browns just because they are playing well. But Myles Garrett will not be playing for them because he got in a car wreck this week. So he will not be playing for Cleveland as far as what I've heard. And so that will free Marcus up definitely to have some more time, taking their best pass rusher away. So, yeah, we're going to stray from Amy and Kim and Jim and Cindy. And I'm going to take Atlanta too. I had them originally written down. So I want to see if they can pull it off at home.
Oh, that's hilarious. And that's why we're just scraping 500 so far this year almost. Oh, no. Oh, actually, we're below that. Gosh, we're sucking. Yeah. No, we should just let our fans pick first, and then we'll just go with what they pick.
Amy did pretty well last week. She hit most of the afternoon games.
Yeah. So Washington and Dallas. Washington going on the road. Dallas is favored. They've actually been playing pretty darn well without Dak Prescott under center. They're at home. It's a field goal. Gosh, everything in the world says that I should take Dallas here, and I'm still going to take Washington. Yeah,
this is where we'll differ right off the bat. First difference. So, yeah, I'm going to take Dallas at home. Cooper Rush have been playing good enough. I think their running backs, that running back committee is playing good enough. I can't trust Carson Wentz yet. But I do think the Redskins have a shot at this. I'm not saying, not the Redskins. Yeah, I read Jake, so I said Redskins too. The Commanders who no one's buying any of that merchandise. No. I'm going to take Dallas at home. That home too helps, I think, a little bit for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Seattle on the road at Detroit. Detroit's favored by 4.5 at home. I figured, okay, it's still kind of a toss-up. Maybe 3 points. I think 4.5 is quite a stretch. But they've shown more progress in the last 2 weeks than Seattle. And at home, I'll take Detroit 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit's putting up a lot of offense. They are putting up a lot of offense, win or lose. They're moving the ball a lot. But let's see, Seattle on the road. It's still Detroit. I thought Detroit was going to get a win last week, and they blew it. Just because it's 4.5, I'm going to take the Seahawks because I think the Seahawks could maybe lose by a field goal. So I'm going to take Seattle just on the points.
Yeah, and that's probably if I'm looking at this, that's probably where I think that I lose that for sure is maybe on the points. So everybody's on board with
I'm the solo
Detroit.
Solo Seahawk
and
here.
Brown and Swift out. Yes, Swift is out. Still good. Robert is all over the Hawks though.
Seahawks.
On Dave's bandwagon. Anyway, Tennessee is at Indiana. Indiana's kind of putting some things together. What do you think here?
They got a big win last week. They beat a really good Chiefs team. They're at home. Maybe things are starting to roll for Matt Ryan. I think he's supposed to get some players back this week that haven't played. That'll help even more. And then with Tennessee, it's always just, can Derrick Henry do enough? Can he do enough to take enough weight off of Tannehill's shoulders, who has no one to throw the ball to? Just for that reason, I'm taking the Colts. Just because, if you can limit Derrick Henry, I don't know who Tannehill's really going to throw the ball to.
He'll run it.
Yeah.
himself.
I'm going to take the Colts at home just after that win they had last week. Maybe they got something clicking finally.
Yeah, I'm going to take – oh, our comments just got blown up. Indiana. So Jim's on Indiana. Jake's on Indiana. Kim's with Tennessee. I'm going with the Colts also here, and I just think that at home I'm taking 3. It really is a toss up because Tennessee really isn't that good. They won last week, but they're just really not that good a team still. And I think that the Tannehill experiment is long over. I've said that before. So, all right. So next game on is actually I'm looking forward. I might actually watch this game. Chicago and the G-Men. Giants are favored by 3. I think the Giants kind of screwed me last week. Anyway, we'll look at this game. I'm taking the Giants. I'm taking the Giants here. I just flipped a coin in my head.
Yeah, it's a good pick. They're at home. They've been playing pretty decent. My matchup to watch, one of my ones I saw when this came up, is Saquon Barkley against Roquan Smith for the Bears. He had 16 tackles last week. Roquan Smith did. He's in a contract year. He's pissed off. He's making every tackle. He had an interception late at the linebacker position to ice the game for the Bears last week. I think the Bears do enough. I'm going to pick the Bears just because also Sterling Shepard got hurt last week. I don't think Daniel Jones has anybody to throw the ball to. They don't have any sort of receiving core there really that's deep that he can move. So same thing. If Roquan Smith, you put him one-on-one with Barkley, I think that's good enough that you make Daniel Jones beat you, and that's not going to happen. So I'm going to take the Bears.
The Bears. Robert's actually picking the score. The Giants are going to win 13-9. So the Bears are going to get a few field goals today, and that's about it. So thanks for putting the score in there. That's obviously you're betting on this and need it to be 13 for big money. So just a quick update. Minnesota did score the touchdown. They're up 25-22. There's 2 minutes left in the game, but it is 3rd and 9 for the Saints at Minnesota's 42. So they have to play. It's 4th and 9.
Need one stop.
So 4th and 9. You're pretty much 2 minutes. You're pretty much gonna try to kick that field goal there. That's 52. That's 60 yards from there. So yeah, that's I don't know. 60. I don't know if the kickers. I don't know. Saw a 64-yarder the other night. Anywho, all right, on with our picks. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who came out with a big win that they shouldn't have last week, against a kind of a slightly banged up Justin Herbert. They go on the road to Philly. Philly is favored by 6.5. I have no problem taking Philly here at 6.5. Jacksonville's win last week was against a high-powered offense, but I still think I like what's happening in Philly, and I like Philly's defense more than anything right now. And so I don't care what kind of, offense Jacksonville's got. I think Philly's defense is going to win this game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I had Jacksonville marked down, even though I feel like that's kind of a high spread for how Jacksonville's been playing. I know they're still Jacksonville, but they've been playing really well this season. leading the AFC, South, or yeah. But I just I don't know. I think Philadelphia, like I said last week, is one of these sneaky teams that could be by the end of the season really, really good, have a lot of wins. I don't like that point spread, but I'm still going to take Philly at home to get that touchdown.
We will actually be seeing Philly next week at they come here to the Cardinals. I will be at that game. You will be here. We will be tailgating at the Cardinals Stadium. We have a fantastic crew that's been tailgating forever, and so we'll be there with our tailgating buddies and taking in the Cardinals Phillies game next week. So it should be a good one for sure. All right, the Jets are going into Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is favored at home by 3.5. Who you got here?
I am going to take the Steelers on this one just because Mike Tomlin, this is the type of game where he gets his team up to play some bully ball, I think, against a not very good other team, especially at home. You give those Pittsburgh fans what they need, what they want. You put it on the lowly Jets. So I'm going to take the Steelers at home. And last pick, I saw in the comments, Robert says Jacksonville's going to win. Money line. He's taking them to win. That's impressive. But got to go with my family Steelers, though, against the Jets.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because I just don't know. I just don't know that what Pittsburgh's got. I think I'm going with the Jets. It's a field goal. I mean, I could win on just the field goal itself. And Robert's got pit covers, barely 17-13. He's feeling saucy, he says. Jake's got the Steelers also. So I'm kind of out there on an island with this one. But you know what? I still feel pretty good that at least it's a 3-point, loss at worst. I will tell you that we are in trouble with our pick at, let me go back up here. So we have 2.5 points. We're checking in on the London game. It is now 25-25. So they kicked that field goal from 60. So it's a minute 51 left. So the Vikings have basically just under 2 minutes to go down and kick a field goal. Yeah, field goal. We can win that game. It'll be our first win of the week. All right, moving on. So we got Buffalo and Baltimore. Buffalo is on the road, still favored by a field goal. I don't know what happened with Buffalo last week. This is a tough game for me to pick. I don't want to pick this game. I'm just going to pick who you're going to. No, I'm kidding. So I'll go ahead and pick first. So that I don't pick who you pick. I'm going to take Baltimore.
Nice. I think I was originally going to take Baltimore just because Lamar Jackson's having an MVP season. Man, I feel like Buffalo's going to be so pissed off on losing that Miami game that they're going to come out on fire against a good Baltimore team. But I think I'm going to take Buffalo just to differ with you. Plus, it's what I mean. 3.5 sucks, or that three is okay. It is just 3. I think if it was 3.5, I would take Baltimore. But if it's 3, I'll take Buffalo.
Okay, sweet. We'll have a little bit of. I can extend my lead this week from 1 to more. Robert's got actual score 31-27. Buffalo. Okay. All right. So the Chargers, who did not play well against the Jaguars, I mean, how do you even say that, are now playing the Houston Texans, that should have been almost in the same class, I think, as the Jaguars. They are favored on the road by 5. I have no problem taking the Chargers here. It's another week that Justin Herbert has had a chance to get his ribs healthy again, the strength back in there, because that will definitely affect your ability to throw. So I'm taking the Chargers here on the road in Houston.
I'm going to take the Chargers too. I really worry about the offensive line. Their center's been out. They don't have a left tackle now. So Herbert's going to have to get the ball off pretty quick or move around pretty well. Eckler needs to get used more. Keenan Allen could be back for them. Joey Bosa is also out, though, for the Chargers, but hopefully Khalil Mack can step it up. Chargers are just banged up all over, man. They have so many injuries early in the season. It's crazy. But I'm still going to go with them just because I don't see Houston having a whole lot of talent to challenge still.
So Jake, obviously it pains you to take the Chargers. I'm reading. So sorry about that. Robert again is in with the scores. I'm loving this 27-10 because I'm going to come back and visit these comments, man, and just check in on these scores. But actually, I'm with you on that score there. I think that it's definitely going to there's definitely going to be separation here, and so awesome. Yeah. Thanks for the scores. All right. So we got Arizona is on the road. Carolina. Carolina is favored by 1.5. What has happened to my Cardinals? What has happened to my Cardinals? I cannot fathom Arizona losing to Carolina. I just can't. There is no way. I mean, whoever, there's no way Arizona can lose this game. I mean, there is. And I think if Arizona loses this game, because there's so many times I hold back comments, Arizona loses this game, Cliff Kingsbury gets fired. Right? They are playing like crap. Kyler Murray's not even running. So there's no threat there. So there's no reason to spy. You're stacking the box. I'm taking Arizona. I'm gonna get upset. I'm just gonna take up Arizona and shut up.
I'm taking the Cardinals too. I think they just have to win this. It's basically I'm with you on the hot seat there. This coach already gets made fun of. They call him college coach, even though he's in the NFL. And he's looking like it. I mean, this could be a make or break game for their coach. I totally agree. And a lot of sports shows that I watched after Kyler Murray, runs around and does what he does, they're just like, he needs to stop listening to the coach and just do what he does and, play ball and make your plays that you make. And I mean, he's a new kind of version of Russell Wilson. I mean, you can't put him in a box. That's not what he does. Just let him make plays. So, I mean, I'm going to take the Cardinals because it's, to me, a must win, and the Panthers aren't great. So it's a game they can win.
Yeah, it is a game they can win. I mean, they should be able to win this game by 15 points. They should be able to. Easy. And what's interesting is I went to the preseason game for Arizona, and it just happened to be a game where and I knew that they were going to be doing this, but I didn't know that it happened. So Arizona was down, and they ended up losing the preseason game. I forgot who they were playing. And it was like 3/4 of the way through the third quarter, Cliff Kingsbury turns over the play calling to Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. They scored. Kyler Murray's play calling scored them 14 quick points. And what was funny is I didn't even know that he was calling the plays. I'm just like, hey, this backup's doing this new kid, because they had put in like the third string quarterback, and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of liking this quarterback, man. This is awesome, And they went down, and boom, 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 right down the field, scored. I'm like, okay, sweet. And then when I get home, I'm watching ESPN or whatever, and they're talking about how basically flat Arizona played in that preseason game until Kyler Murray started calling the plays. And I'm not saying he needs to be a coach. I'm not saying it, but he's an aggressive guy, right? And I think that the coach is trying to pull him back from that. You don't have to be aggressive. But I'll tell you what, he's not a pocket quarterback. He's too small. You're not going to keep him in there. And you have to move that pocket. And you have to, stretch the field. You have to give him lanes. You have to make the defense honor his ability. You look at Lamar Jackson, who's having, like you said earlier, a career year. And, Kyler Murray is in that same boat. They're similar quarterbacks. So, on this, Cliff Kingsbury definitely is on the hot seat. And if they lose, even though he just signed a coaching contract, he's got to go. He's absolutely got to go. So anyway, all right. Any last thoughts before I move on? I'll get off my soapbox.
Yeah, I think next year the coach for the Arizona Cardinals should be Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, because he's got a similar type quarterback in Patrick Mahomes there that they let him open it up and let him be him, and he's basically a league MVP. So the guy that you just paid $1 bajillion to, I think you could allow to have a similar type situation. But I would love to see Eric Bieniemy be the coach of the Cardinals next year.
Very nice. All right, New England on the road. Green Bay, the frozen tundra that's not yet frozen. Green Bay's favored by 10. I think Mac Jones is out. I'm taking Green Bay here.
Yeah, Green Bay at home, and this is that town, Aaron Rodgers, that team. They're going to be a blood in the water type team. They hate the Patriots for all those years that Brady was so good there, and Belichick. They feel like they're, America's team, not the Cowboys, not the Patriots. The Packers feel like they're America's team. Their town owns the team. It's the only team in the NFL that's owned by the town. They are going to want to destroy Bill Belichick at home. I see them definitely trying to win by this 10, if not more. I see them really wanting to blow out the Patriots at home.
Yeah. And the more that they play together, with these young receivers, with Aaron Rodgers, they're going to start clicking. Things are going to start moving. I agree with Robert. This should absolutely be doable. And the Raiders are America's team. Come on, the Raiders. Come on, America's team.
Nothing more American than Vegas, baby.
That is true. Not a lot of places in the world like Vegas. All right, Denver at Vegas. The sports books there in Vegas say that Vegas will be favored by 2.5, so less than a field goal against the other big contract, Russell Wilson. The Raiders just aren't good this year. I'm going to let you go ahead and pick this one first.
Yeah, this was a hard one when I looked at it because the Raiders should be better than they have played this year, but they are not. Their defense is really taking a beating so far this year. But I also don't see Denver as that great. They won maybe one of the ugliest games I've seen against the 49ers last week. Russell on the road with these guys. I don't know. Maybe I just take the Raiders because it's 3 at home. Yeah, why not? I'll make my friend Jake happy. I'll take the Raiders. I don't know if that's a smart pick just because they haven't showed anything, but they should. I mean, they got some talent there. They got, they should be putting it together more than they are. Maybe today's the day they put it together at home. So I'll take the Raiders just because they're at home, basically, and I don't think Denver's that amazing either.
Yeah, the Denver is not amazing, but you've paid somebody $250, $60 billion or something like that. That guy should should win you football games.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking Denver. I'm taking Denver to win by a field goal. So, yeah, the Raiders are just I don't know what it is. It's probably down to coaching because they have the talent. They do have the talent. So, maybe not the defense. They have some offense. I'm going with Robert. You know, he says Raiders are going to win 23-21, but he's still taking Denver. Damn me. What? So
Big Raider fan there, hurt his feelings.
yeah. Just a quick update before we get to the last game. The London game is now over. It is final, and Minnesota has won 28-25. We are 500 already this week, Dave, with our loss on Thursday, 1 win this week. So, all right, feeling good.
Vikings pulling it out at the end again.
So Kansas City on the road at Tampa Bay is favored by 2 points. You know, I was thinking I wouldn't be surprised Tom Brady retires midseason. It's been a struggle for Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is the better team. I'm taking Tampa Bay here, and I don't know where they're playing though. And
they were going to play in Minnesota, I believe.
Okay.
In the dome.
Yeah. So Kansas City, Minnesota. You know, I mean, location could make a difference. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Chiefs. For me, this is gonna be a passing of the torch game. Because it's not in Tampa Bay and it's in Minnesota, that's not a far travel for Kansas City, really. You're going to get Mahomes on turf. I still have no idea who Tom Brady's going to throw to. I mean, he threw his first pass last week to a guy that had been on the team for like 2 days that they had picked up in free agency. So I think I got to take – Tampa has not looked good this year. Mm-hmm. Brady's got a lot going on. I don't know what's happening with him, but, I mean, look at since the start of the season had to take days off. Now he gets Wednesdays off of practice. He gets all these I'm the GOAT special things now this season. And if you know Tom Brady, you look at his life, he's a very structured, regimented guy.
Yeah. From
what he eats to how he, has lived his life. And this year seems different than any other year of his career. Agreed. He is not on the same schedule. He is not, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it looks like, oh, shoot, maybe he should have stayed retired because he didn't pull it off last year, but they didn't have a bad season. Is he going to retire now when they're 500 at the end of the season? And that's how he goes out instead of in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. It's not looking good for Tampa Bay. They do not have good juju right now. I am going to go with Kansas City.
And for every reason that you just said, I'm probably going to lose that game. And but I'm just going to hope. I'm going to hope and pray for the best. And because he is the GOAT, hated him when he was in New England, like him in Tampa Bay. So that should be the game tonight. Tomorrow, drum roll, your San Francisco 49ers are I was shocked at this line.
I was completely shocked
that San Francisco is favored at home by less than a field goal against the Super Bowl champion Rams. I have no idea who did this, and it could just be a joke. I don't know. They put that 2.5 on the wrong team. I'm shocked here. I'm taking the Rams.
I like the respect, and they're my team, and I hope it's right. And this is what I'm going to put out into the universe. I'm going to pick the Rams just so that I can be wrong, and my team can prove me wrong, I'm going to pick the Rams because we really should be 3-0 this season. We lost the slot bowl in Chicago by hardly anything because we couldn't put any offense up in that crap. But still, the Bears had the same weather to play in, and they beat us. So kudos to them. But I feel like we should have won that game. A lot of coulda, shouldas. And then we played absolutely terrible on offense against the Broncos, and Jimmy G Strings runs out the back of the end zone. 2 points for them. We end up losing by 1. So tell me that didn't matter. So the 2 games we lost, we probably could have won and could be 3-0 right now. So I don't think we have a bad team, but we're definitely not like the best teams who win close games like that and don't make mistakes like we've made in the losses. Yeah, and the Rams are the defending Super Bowl champion. They have Aaron Donald still. That hasn't changed. Garoppolo's not going to run anywhere. I know the Niners, have played well against the Rams in the past, but the Rams did beat us in the NFC Championship game last year. So when it mattered, they beat us. I have to take the Rams because I hope my 49ers prove me wrong. And I hope they give me a loss in the loss column.
Yeah, I mean, that first week with Jimmy G was like, oh man, this is the best thing for the Niners. And then last week was okay, back to, I guess, what do we obviously, what do we know? San Francisco shuts down Cup, wins 20-13.
I like it.
I hope you didn't put money on that one, Robert. Nobody. We talked about this last week. You have one job, shut down Cooper Kupp, and no one can do it. And I don't.
They didn't do too bad last week. He only had like 44 yards receiving last week or something.
I don't have anyone to shut down Cooper Kupp. So because you double him, I mean, you can't. I mean, all right, I don't know.
God, I would triple him. Allen Robinson's caught like 2 passes all season. They don't know who they want to be their running back. I would put 3 guys on Cooper Kupp. I'd have 2 jamming him at the line and 1 right behind them, like 7 yards away. And I would be like, good luck.
I watch DBs like pre-snap run away from the line because they're like, I got to give this guy room and stay on top over top. And, and it's like, okay, then it's like sitting at home. I'm like, oh, let's just throw a little out to Cooper because this guy just ran 25 yards off of him pre-snap, So the Cup runneth over. So anyway, and it's so funny that one guy, right? So one guy in the NFL that you have to slow down, and teams just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Good teams just can't figure it out. So anywho, well that's tomorrow night's Monday night game, and which means that we are done with our picks. And I just want to thank everyone for all of your comments. Robert, I'm absolutely going to be checking these scores out. And if you're on, man, I'm just going to start sending my picks to you and you can pick for me each week. And cause I'm only up on Dave by 1 game and I need to get up. I need to stretch that out. Cause last year I had a 13 game lead and he brought that back and only won by 1 game. So, So any last words, thoughts for the week, Dave? What's your game of the week?
My game of the week is probably that Buffalo-Baltimore game. You got Josh Allen against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's looking like a video game right now. He's putting up, video game numbers. I think that's my game of the week. We do have 7 games where we differ this week. That might be a record. I don't know if we've ever differed on that many games in 1 week before.
We had 6 or 7 week 2, I think.
So things are definitely going to potentially shift. Maybe. I mean, who knows? But there's the ability for one of us to take, a decent lead after this week.
So I'll be up by 8 games after this week.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, that's my game of the week. I think my secondary game of the week would probably watching Mahomes against Tom Brady on Sunday night, passing of the torch. See what's going on with those quarterbacks. How about you? What's your game of the week?
I'm the same with the Buffalo and Baltimore game, and then tonight and tomorrow. Those games I think are, I tomorrow. I mean, again, tomorrow probably shouldn't be. I mean, one way, but you never know with San Francisco and what Jimmy G can do over there. So,
and really in the NFC West, the way these teams are looking and where the records are right now, the Rams win that game. They might just be driver's seat winning the NFC West halfway through the season.
Sure.
I mean, they get that game at San Francisco. They can beat them at San Francisco. I'm sure they probably beat them later in the season at home. Yeah. Cardinals aren't playing good. Seahawks aren't playing well. The Rams get this win on Monday night. They clinch the NFC West halfway through the season.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, thanks everyone for watching. Enjoy football today. And as we will, thank you to Smog City and to Rogue Brewing, my Bat Squatch.
How do you like that squatch?
This
it's pretty good, huh?
That's how I liked it, and so that's quite tasty. So I got a few more of them for game day, and so thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you all next week. We will actually be broadcasting live from State Farm Stadium, the home of the Arizona Cardinals, next Sunday morning. So don't forget to tune in and see us and share your wonderful comments and picks. So have a great NFL week, everyone, and we will see you next Sunday. Bye now.